All right. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Jerry and I, we love being here. We love talking with every one of you, and we just love being with Supermicro even more, as you can probably tell. But what we're going to do today is just talk to you a little bit about what we're doing with Supermicro. Give you guys a quick update in case you guys don't know that we're running on Intel Xeon 6. So, and with everything else. So what we're going to do is I'm going to first pass it off over here to Jerry. We're going to tell you just a brief little bit about Supermicro. We're going to give you a little product portfolio update. And then we're going to go into the rack mount, the stuff I was talking about earlier, liquid cooling, which you guys know Supermicro is king of. And then I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Gaudi. And even though I gave you guys a little bit of a preview earlier about what I was going to speak with, I'll go into more detail about that. So with that in mind, I'm going to turn it over to my trusted friend.
Oh, you're the
and I'm
beginning
going to
part,
go
right?
ahead and...
You're the beginning part, right?
Oh, you want me to be the beginning?
Yeah.
I will be the beginning.
But before we get started, how many guys are actually using Supermicro? A couple of you? Okay. For those of you who didn't raise your hands, you guys really need to take a look at the overall solutions we have to offer, okay? The next question I have for you guys is how many guys are adopting Xeon 6 right now? A couple of you guys, okay. What we're going to showcase here is a lot of amazing things, and you're going to see Patrick go over some of the milestones of what Supermicro has accomplished, the direction that we're going, and our product portfolio. And what you're going to see here is that the overall portfolio, it's so wide and it's so deep. So if you're looking to be successful in your business and you're looking for the hardware, we have a solution for you. So with that said, let me go ahead and have Patrick.
Thank you, Jerry. Appreciate it. So, as Jerry was talking to you a little bit about this, I put this up on the screen for you guys to watch, for just to read a little bit. So this is all really, really good news. And then what the things I kind of wanted to actually show you is a little bit more important on the second slide here. And what I want to bring your guys' attention to is that what I've heard about on the floor is where are you guys based? Where are you guys from? I'm like, look, San Jose, California, HQ, that's where we're at. But we're not only there. So we're all over the place, basically. So this is what I kind of wanted to give you guys a little bit glimpse of into is in the future site plans we have coming as well. But we also just finished this up. So before I was able to get here and update this slide for you guys, we now have a whole new campus. And we have this over in Malaysia. Then we're also going to be building out in some future sites as well. So what it actually means for everybody is that if you're based in Japan, or if you're based in Taiwan, or the Netherlands, or somewhere else other than the United States, we have the capability to take that order that you placed, get that manufacturing, get that shipped to you, and get it shipped to you quickly. You no longer have to really rely on us having to build and manufacture everything in one location and then ship it to you in another location, and it take a long time. So that's what it means. If you guys have read the news lately, you know that we've expanded even our HQ location in San Jose to 3 more buildings. So that's actually pretty wild too. So we're going to be building a whole new campus out close by the original HQ location, and then we have more production plants coming. So what that really means is that we're able to push out the 5,000 racks a month globally that we know that we say that we do. So, and I'm going to go show you guys that in a little bit later. But that's really what it means to you guys, that we're able to take that order, get it done, and get it in your hands as quickly as possible. So when we talk about these kinds of things, Supermicro is adjusting and shifting itself to give you guys a whole new experience in this era of AI compute. So we have some of this stuff here from a single node level that translates into the rack level, and we're able to do this at scale that nobody else can do. There is nobody else that can do it at scale, and there's nobody else that can do it quicker as we can. So we're going to give you a little glimpse into that today. So to get you guys on board a little bit on the component level, Jerry's going to come in here with the accelerated portion of it and show you exactly what we're going to talk about when it comes down to the GNR AP or GNR SP, or as guys Intel likes to call them now, is the 6900 series and the 65 and 6700 series. So we're going to show you a little bit about what we've done to upgrade the portfolio to take advantage of that, because all the people that didn't raise their hands that are upgraded to Intel Xeon 6 now don't have an excuse to upgrade to Intel Xeon 6. So Jerry, let me go ahead and let you take it away.
Thanks, Patrick. So for a lot of you guys who didn't raise your hands, whether you know the Supermicro or if you're going to be adopting Xeon 6, again, this whole conference itself, they're promoting the latest and greatest. And what is the latest? It's the Xeon 6. If you haven't been looking into 6900s, 6700s, 6500s, the P cores, the E cores, how this is going to basically help your overall business, start taking a look into it. Because when you do take a look at overall technology and how it's being implemented, Supermicro is one of the fastest partners that you can partner up with to get you basically to hit the ground running, meaning that we are some of the fastest producers to come out with the latest tech so you can adopt it and integrate it into your overall lineup, right? So how many guys are doing rack mounts, like 1U, 2U rack mounts? You guys do a lot of that? You do it? Great. Have you guys moved on to more GPU type of servers? Trying to get into the AI space, seeing how high of a density you can get into that play? I see a couple of heads nodded. So a lot of these different type of plays, we have hardware that can optimize for your application, and that's really the goal. We're taking the latest and greatest, we're implementing it into our hardware to basically offer you that solution. And one of the other things that we want you to take away out of this particular presentation, it's not that Supermicro is just offering you, basically a rack mount, a single node server, or just hardware itself. It's a full service, and Patrick's going to basically give you the whole story in terms of our one-stop shop solution, the rack mount integration, that we're really putting it together and offering you a total package, and that's really the key. So let's talk about what is happening on what we call the X14, which is pretty much going to be supporting the Xeon 6 series processors, right? What have you guys learned, out of your meetings regarding Xeon 6? Anything? Well, there's going to be an up in core count, right? So you got up in core count, faster memories, you got some MR DIMMs, 8800. That's pretty exciting, isn't it? Any of you guys going to take advantage of that? All right, I know Eric's going to do it. There's also basically different form factors with storage. How many guys are still utilizing U.2s? Probably a lot of us, right? Have you guys looked into the E1.S or the E3.S, the different form factors, right? Those are some of the ways that we're getting higher densities within our basically multi-node systems, as well as our standard 2U to give you the petascale storage, okay? That's a concept that we keep throwing out there, all right? What about OCP? How many guys are interested in OCP type of product lines? So that's the thing. With Supermicro, we're offering you different type of solutions. Maybe you're not ready for OCP, but just note, we do have to have Cloud DC as well as the petascale line that is basically OCP compatible. All these different type of features that you guys are seeing out there, we're integrating into our overall portfolio. So again, if you haven't had a look at Supermicro's product portfolio, I highly encourage you to do so and even come to our booth, because we have a lot of these particular hardware products out there for you guys to basically look, touch, feel, take pictures. Go ahead, all right? So let's go ahead and take a look at what the X14 is going to be offering. And I know a lot of times when we do the presentation, especially on the earlier days, people got confused. People got confused when we started talking about AP platforms, SP platforms. Then we started throwing 6900 series, 67, 65. Then you had the P cores and E cores, right? It's a lot of information to take in. I get it. But Intel did basically offer some guidance in regards to how to pitch out the overall product portfolio. When you take a look at AP, SP, just consider the AP line as the 6900 series. The SPs, they're all the 67, 65 series. Each one of those will have a P core and an E core version. And what does that translate to? Well, the P cores, you got the multi-threading. The basically E cores, you got the single-threaded, okay? All of these particular type of processors and feature sets, we have a solution for it, all right? So if you do take a look at max performance, that's going to basically be primarily the 6900 series, okay? In this particular portfolio, we're going to be focusing on 6900P. If you are interested in 6900E, talk with your Intel rep. It's an off-roadmap processor. That's something that can go up to 288 cores. But in this particular presentation, 6900P is basically going to be supported. 6900E is also supported. But again, talk to your Intel rep. On the performance optimized for efficiency and performance side, we have a wide variety of product lines. Now, how many of you guys are using some type of product that you see on the screen right now? So this is what Supermicro is known for, okay? We're not basically trying to throw a whole bunch of product line at you. If you guys basically have been looking at Supermicro and you've seen us from our basically current X14, our X13, X12, X11. I joined the company when we were at X10. And those particular product lines themselves, we used to have hundreds of servers. And what you can guarantee is that when we do take a look at the overall portfolio, it's all consolidating down. And basically how we're doing that, we're going to explain a little bit, but we're doing a lot of consolidation to standardize on a particular motherboard and offering you flexibility to configure the server to how you want it, okay? So let me give you some examples. When we take a look at the max performance itself, what is the 6900 series going to be gearing towards? Well, obviously, a whole lot of talk regarding AI, right, for the optimization. They're going to do great. That's going to deal more with our PC or our GPU optimized servers. That's going to deal with either the onboard, the PCIe, the MGX, even the Gaudi 3s. Those are all part of those particular type of solutions, right? Then you have the HPC rack mounts. Okay, that's the ones that I really specialize in. Basically the 1U, 2U rack mounts, and we'll get into that. That's going to basically be the hyperline. But within those particular lineups, we have different segments regarding Cloud DC, which is our mid-tier, and also OCP compatible. And there's the WIO, which is more of our entry level. And then you have the high density compute. So if you're really gearing towards the HPC lineup, you basically can take a full advantage of our twin platform as well as the blades to give you that ultimate density within each one of the enclosures. Now, when we get to the performance efficiency side, this might be where a lot of you guys are going to be looking at, right? Because we all know is that when you're looking at the 6900 series, how many of you guys want to guess what the power consumption is on each one of those processors or what the TDP is on it, on those 6900s? Exactly, he knows his stuff right there. 500 watts, right? So those particular servers, obviously high TDP. With these particular servers, up to 350 because of the processors themselves. But it really depends on what your workload and what type of features you're going to be gearing towards. So a lot of people are going to be looking at the 6700 and 6500 series. And what you're going to get here is rack mount, multi-node storage, even edge products going to be supporting the 6700 and the 6500 series. And please keep in mind, P-cores and E-cores are all compatible on this particular platforms because they share the same socket. So let's dive a little bit deeper in terms of the product line itself. So if you're the type of customer who's looking for a single rack mount solution, and you're looking to consolidate all the amazing features or all different type of requirements down to basically a few servers, Hyper is that particular platform. We designed that particular server itself to be fully modular, meaning that when you order that particular server, you basically decide how many drives you want to enable, either 8 or 12 in a 1U or 8, 16, or 24 in a 2U, right? On the board itself, it's either going to be a DP solution, and depending on which variety that you basically utilize, either the 6900 or the 6700 series, it will basically be a 24 or 32 DIMM solution, right? On top of that, you have full expansion, meaning that in a 2U form factor, you have basically 4 by 16 slots that can accommodate up to 4 dual width cards, meaning that the Hyper itself, not only can you do compute, you have high memory, you also have a variety of high density of NVMe capabilities. You also have the expansion piece guided towards it. So these can be your well-rounded, fully loaded type of servers that can fit a lot of different bell or requirements that you might have. Now, if you like what I said about that, keep in mind, we also have a UP version, and that's something new in regards to the X14 lineup. So one of the things that we missed on our high-end, basically rack mount platforms, was that they're primarily more just DP solutions. And on all those features, they all fit that particular profile. Now, because of what Xeon 6 is offering with the higher core counts, as well as the higher wattage per CPU, customers are looking more towards the UP. That's one of the reasons why we started developing more UP solutions into the overall form factors that you are well familiar with. And that's something that hopefully you can take advantage within the same series. The next item itself is going to be the twin platforms. How many guys are you guys even familiar with like a big twin or grand twin? Does that sound familiar? Okay, so if you're looking to not reinvent the wheel, and you're basically looking to basically get that 2U form factor that you can throw into a rack and basically have additional density, twin form factor is the way to go. And we came out with a couple of nomenclatures, meaning that there's a big twin. Those are our DP solutions. Within a 2U enclosure, you can have either 2 nodes or 4 nodes. Then we introduced a grand twin. Because of Xeon 6 and the higher core counts, this is going to be extremely helpful because now you basically have the same twin form factor on a single proc solution. But what is it that you see here? It's the Flex Twin. This is our latest one. Now, we mentioned the 6900 series. What was the TDP on those processors? 500 watts. It's very hard to basically get two 500-watt processors on a one-use solution. That's why you see the LCC on there. By default, that's going to be liquid cooling. In the Flex Twin itself, we're able to give you the 2U form factor with 4-node density, which each node supporting two 6900P processors, 500 watts, liquid cooled, all right? So that particular solution itself is our 2U form factor that you can basically throw it into the rack, and you have that density, great for HPC. If you're looking even for higher density, there's our blades, right? It's gonna basically be a 6U, 8U form factor, and you basically can have either a 10 node or 20 node. The key with the blades is that there's a DP solution as well as a UP solution, but also note, one of the cruxes that the blades had was because of its form factor, you're limited in the drives. But I mentioned what about the form factor of drives that we're integrating to these type of solutions? E1.S as well as E3.S. You now basically have each node supporting up to 4 drives. So that's really amazing where you get a well-balanced overall solution set, with this high density. And on top of that, with the hypers and the blades, you can incorporate GPUs into those solutions. So that's just some of our lineup that we have with it. Now, if we go to the GPU solution, let me just go ahead and pop it up. I know it takes too much time. I'm going to wrap it up really quick. If you're looking at the GPUs themselves, we have a lot of different solutions, right? You probably noticed us that, we had basically a lot of different platforms that you guys can tackle. So whether or not you're looking for the onboard GPUs, you're looking for PCI Express, or you're even looking for MGX, all these particular solutions, they're all going to be based on the Xeon 6, okay? We have these platforms readily available, but one thing I want to note to you guys is that for you guys, how many guys are selling into data centers? Okay. If you get a particular node itself, I know I'm talking about liquid cooling, right? How many guys are ready for liquid cooling? Maybe a handful. So what are you to do? How are you going to take this latest technology and incorporate it into your overall solutions? Well, that's the great thing about Supermicro. Our engineering is in-house, right? Who better to solve the problems than the people who actually designed it, okay? And that's one of the things I want to point out is that, yes, we have liquid cooling for the GPUs themselves, but take a look at the top itself. Take a look at the A22GA. Those are basically our air-cooled versions. We understand liquid cooling is not for everybody, but it is a solution that Supermicro, we're going to stand by, we're going to keep promoting, because we understand CPUs getting hotter, GPUs are getting hotter. Overall, power consumption, it's becoming more. It's all generating more heat. Liquid cooling is a solution, but not everybody can adapt it. That's why you see a lot of great solutions that we have is still air-cooled to offer you that variety, right? The trade-off is that you're going to have a larger form factor in that particular case. And the same thing goes basically with the PCIe version as well as the MGX. Now, I know what a lot of you guys are thinking. I came here to talk about Gaudi, right? Well, Gaudi 3, yes. You're looking for a partner? Gaudi 3, we are the only OEMs providing this particular solution. Patrick has a demo over in our booth. I highly encourage you to talk to him and his team. We have people who know the solution. This particular solution itself, you're looking for Gaudi 3, look no further. Supermicro is that solution. The other solution that we also have is Max.io, offering you a 3U with a high density of PCI Express, so then you can incorporate up to 8 PCI Express cards. So there's a lot of amazing solutions. I know I'm using a lot of time, so let me throw it back to Patrick before we run out.
Woo! We got 3 minutes.
All right.
3 minutes to cram in a lot of stuff. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We've all had to pass a certain exam to get here, right? We all had to get a degree. We all had to do some cramming, so I'm going to do it for you. So let me borrow that clicker so I can just go ahead and zoom through this real quick. But I'm not gonna pass up on some of the key points that I really wanted to talk to you about. If I miss something in here, I want you to come see me at the booth. I have a lot of information to share with you. But what I wanted to actually bring to your attention, this is what I referenced before. So how do we get all the systems that Jerry just talked to you about into your hands and into a rack? We do it by shipping 5,000 racks a month. I told you guys about this earlier, but what I didn't tell you was that we're also shipping and have the capability of giving the whole world at least 2,000 direct liquid cooling racks a month. We can do it. We are expanding to do that even more. And Supermicro, again, I'm going to stress this and I'm going to be emphatic about it, is the only one that can do it. I love working at Supermicro. I have a great boss. I have a great team. And I love doing what I'm doing right now. And I can guarantee this is going to happen. So what we actually do to do this is that we go through the whole integration service. We own everything. That's what I want to leave you on this slide. Supermicro owns the supply chain. We own everything in the integration service, and we're responsible for it. So when you get it, we build it, we test it, and then what we do is that we retest it again before we ship it, and then we go ahead and then we reassemble it at your site, and we test it again. So that's up and running, and we don't leave until it's done. And I can guarantee that I can raise my hand to that. Been there, done that. But what we also do in the midst of doing all of this is that we were the pioneer in liquid cooling solutions. We have the same rack build out for air cool as we do with liquid cooling. And I guarantee you this is one of the biggest ones that you'll ever see. And the reason why is because we own every single component in here. From down below the CDU to the cold plates that are running on your CPUs to the actual memory. Actually, go take a look at it on the booth. We have it all done there for you, and you can take a look at it. If you don't have a cooling tower, how are you going to cool it? We'll get you a cooling tower. We're building it out. We built it out in Building 21. I'm going to build out another one, and it's going to be wild. You got to come to Supermicro San Jose. We'll give you a tour, and you can see for yourself. It's crazy. But you'll come away impressed. But what we do, we do it to the scale of even AI superclusters. So we can actually build this to, it doesn't matter, 32, 64, 128, 256, 1024. We build it out. We build it out large, and that's what we do, and we do a darn good job at it. So we have a lot of different types of solutions. Gaudi is one of those solutions. And I love it. I've been working with it for the past 4 years or so. I can give you the skinny on it. Come see me. But what I want to have you be left away with is the fact that all this stuff that you see on the floor, I've never, ever, in all of the conferences that I've been to, have seen such a large Gaudi presence. And I haven't seen as many demos as I've seen today that are running on Gaudi. And I'm happy to see that, because that means all of the POCs that I've done with every one of these people here are actually working. And they're implementing that into the real world, and now they're offering those solutions to everybody. That's what this slide means. That slide means that this works, and the customers are buying it, and customers are going to go ahead and start using it, and it's wonderful to do it. Jerry mentioned this before, but I'm going to hammer this home because I'm darn proud of it. This is exclusive to Supermicro. No one else has it. I can almost guarantee you Q4 this year will be the only time people are going to catch up with us, and that means we've already been doing this for a year. So what can I do for you guys? If you guys want to get in on this and you want to take advantage of this performance and you want to take advantage of a 6900 series, call me. Call my friend Ivan. Call your Supermicro rep. We'll get it in your hands. And this is not just the Gaudi. This is for every single thing that Jerry took the time to explain to you guys to show you that we can do it. And I guarantee you that we'll get it done quick. I will explain this to you guys in the booth on how we doing on time. Got 15 seconds. Getting the call to wrap up. They're playing my music, so I gotta get off the stage. So come see me about the cluster reference architecture that we built with IDCs that we shipped out. This is how we're building IDC, and this is what we can do for you.
Woo!
So let us work for you. Come talk to us. We'll get it done. We'll do the work. We'll put it in. All you gotta do is call. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
I love it. Let's get who's gonna raise your hand if you're calling Jerry?